Hey everyone, Rosemary Hassan back again to help you take full control of your life. So let's do a deep dive and a quick health hack with Pastor John Gray, who a couple of years ago mentioned that he had been in a life-threatening condition with a saddle pulmonary embolism. Saddle pulmonary embolisms are very serious conditions, and usually what that means is that a blood clot has either broken loose from a deep vein thrombosis, or blood clots have been forming in the bloodstream due to conditions like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, or just being overweight and obese. Now let's take a look at Pastor John Gray. He had sudden symptoms that came on. He decided not to drive home, or he would have probably, in his own words, died in the car. Luckily for him, his mother-in-law drove him to the emergency room, and that is where he discovered that he had this life-threatening condition. Saddle pulmonary embolisms are very, very serious because what it does is it straddles or it saddles both of the branches of the pulmonary artery that provides blood flow to the lungs. And without blood flow to the lungs, you are not going to live. As a matter of fact, there is a very high possibility of death with a diagnosis like this. And usually people who have a saddle pulmonary embolism die within minutes of having it or within days. It is truly a miracle that Pastor John Gray was able to get diagnosed and treated and have his life spared. So there's more to it than that, as you all know, when it comes to faith and practicing our faith and our belief in God to secure us when it comes to our health. If I were working with Pastor John Gray, now I am not his medical advisor in any way, and I'm not providing any kind of medical advice. This is for informational purposes only. But if I were working with Pastor John Gray and helping him through my signature life transformation program, what I would do is I would look first of all at what he's eating. He has all of the hallmarks for a high risk person when it comes to things like heart disease, thrombosis, stroke, heart attack. These are all high risk conditions that can be prevented if we take a look at the food that Pastor John Gray eats. So that would be the first thing. I would look at how much food are you eating, not necessarily just to be counting calories, but looking at the quality of the food. Looking at, are you eating lean protein? Are you eating complex carbohydrates? And are you having healthy fats? Are you getting in enough avocado, in enough olive oil, extra virgin olive oil? These healthy fats can help reduce your fat levels in your body and help reduce your risk of some of these life-threatening illnesses. Pastor John Gray, he's been very forthcoming as far as his struggles with his health, either through his reality television show that he had a few years back, or through his interviews after suffering from the saddle pulmonary embolism. Pastor John Gray, if you were asking me to help you, as I said, the first thing I would do is look at what kind of foods are not treating your body well. Are you sleeping enough? Are you exercising consistently and doing the right kind of exercises to reduce your body fat and increase your muscle mass? Now, the good news is that it's easier for you because you're a man, and men naturally have a higher muscle mass than women do. So men will see results quickly when you start a health and wellness program that can transform your life. If you really want to have long-lasting effects of your way that you eat and the way that you exercise, it has to be something that can easily be adapted and adopted into your life. People like Pastor John Gray are very successful when it comes to entrepreneurial pursuits or in their calling, in this case, as a pastor and a shepherd to many, many sheep in his pasture. The thing that is very rarely discussed and is very rarely addressed is, what are you doing as a leader to promote and to rebuild people when it comes to their physical as well as their spiritual health? And a lot of times when we have churches and faith believing people are missing out when it comes to physical health. as well as spiritual health. When you have your physical health, then your spiritual health is naturally affected as well and enhanced. Because when you have a clear mind that is not suffering from flowing through its veins additives, preservatives, artificial colors, too much sugar, too much salt, bad fats. When that's not going on in the brain can then have a place where God can be received in the fullness of what God intends for this body temple. So if I were working with you, Pastor John Gray, I would redo all that you've been doing when it comes to your nutrition. I would help you with your exercise to show you what are some of the male specific exercises that you should be doing to get the best outcomes, to reverse type 2 diabetes, lower your weight, and to help you get the best sleep that you've ever had. Because if you have what I'm looking at your profile and assessing that you would have, based on what the causes are and the risk factors are for a saddle pulmonary embolism, that means that you are probably overweight or obese, that you have high blood pressure, that you have type 2 diabetes, and that you probably have high cholesterol as well. I would work on all 4 of those areas: your nutrition, your exercise, how you sleep, and the final thing is how you think. And that's all for an acronym called NEST. NEST is what you need to finally win the battle that you've been struggling with for a long time. You want to leave a legacy? Leave a legacy of health for your children, for your wife, for your congregants, for you. And I'm here to help you with that. So if you want to learn more, and especially, I love this. I love that you changed the name of Relentless Greenville to The Love Story. That is such a perfect bookend to teaching people about love and reflecting love. Help me help you add to the love story by loving yourself and loving your health. I'm Rosemary Hapsam. Let me know how else I can help you hack your health. We'll see you next time, guys. Who should I do next? Let me know in the comments. We'll see you next time. I'm Rosemary Hapsam. Bye.